Hello and welcome to episode 78 of the Talk Nintendo podcast. I'm one of your hosts, Casey Gibson, and joining me this fine evening, as always, the one, the only, Mr. Perry Burkham.
This episode of Talk Nintendo podcast is brought to you by two Jimmies who do this on their own time.
Yep, it's not the best paying.
Yeah.
But it results in a lot of good video game discussion, I tell you what.
Video games. How's it going, Casey? How's the weather up there?
Well, right now, it's not too bad at all, actually. I guess I went out before, it was maybe a little freezing rain, you know? But,
Yep, that's how it was here.
Tomorrow morning, which will have been yesterday when this posts, around 5 a.m., I believe it start snowing, and then it's going to just go for like 24 straight hours. So, they're calling for 11 to 15 inches on the second day of spring to ring in the new season here. Now, the good thing is we've had storms like the last couple weeks, and they've overshot every single time. You know, like the last storm was supposed to be like 7 to 9 inches or something.
Overshoot. Yeah,
and we got like
it's
3.
coming. It's not gonna. Yeah.
So, but you know what? I've been checking throughout the day, and it's only gone up. So, like, for instance, where I work, it was 11 to 15, and by where I live was more like 7 to 10. Now they're both up to 11 to 15. So we shall see.
It'll be 7. I bet it'll be 6 to 7. That's what I'm guessing.
I mean, you know what? That's still a healthy amount.
Yeah, definitely.
I'm sort of expecting no work tomorrow. They already gave out the email if you don't feel safe, but I don't know. If it's going to start snowing at 5 and go all the way for, throughout the whole day, I'll probably end up staying home and playing some good old-fashioned video games, I tell you what.
Yep. You? Video games? That's crazy.
Nah, I just might read a book.
It's funny, I just got a new job, and there was a meeting, this morning, and it's in a different town, and so it is wake up to freezing rain and snow, and my car, randomly last week, the windshield wipers, the motor went out in the windshield wipers.
Oh no.
So it's like, yeah. So, anyway, I had to take my other car, and you know how it is. Anyway.
I tell you what, there's nothing worse than having, like, a busted-up windshield wiper. Or, like, a really crappy one. Like, my old car, for, like, the longest time, I don't know what it was. It was just terrible. Like, it'd always be streaky and ugh.
Yeah. Yeah. But we can tell we had an amazing game night last Friday. It was so much fun. Like we advertised on the show. We had a full Splatoon 2 crew,
full boat, including 2 spectators. Which got to rotate and watch Perry stink it up.
And in case no one knows, one of my favorite things in the world is having Casey spectate games that I'm playing, because he likes to completely zoom in and comment on everything that I'm doing.
Well, I'm just giving the play-by-play.
And everything I'm doing wrong.
Well, see, that's the thing. I'm just doing the play-by-play. I compliment when you do well. It's not my fault that, generally speaking, you're more of a poor player than a good one, but I mean, I can only work with what I'm given, is all I'm trying to say.
Okay. No, I know. And that's why we love you, Casey. That's why we love you. That is so funny. But yeah, I mean, shout out to GX who hosted Jackbox for us after Splatoon 2. It's funny, we were going to do Mario Kart 8 and Rocket League, but
yeah, we decided that, with all those people, it'd probably be more fun to get into some Splatoon action.
No. No. This gym bot forgot his Mario Kart 8 physical cartridge, so we couldn't play.
Yeah, you know what? I thought, I could have sworn that was the last game I'd played with you, actually. I figured it was still in there, and I'm house/pet sitting, so my cases were at home, and I guess, I don't know why Mario Kart 8 doesn't have like a permanent slot in the case, seeing how that's like a good bust down play game. I'll probably have to change that. But yeah,
you just made a mistake. It's okay. We're human.
A big error, but no, it was great. We had a full crew. That was a lot of fun. Like I said, we jumped over to Jackbox, which we now learned has a delay mode for streaming purposes. Remember, we had difficulty with that when we tried to play. With, like trying to do like a webcam. Oh, it was miserable.
But I was still surprised at how bad it was. I mean, like I
see, it was pretty good for me.
I mean, sure, for you. I don't. No, I
for
mean like
you.
No, I mean I'm sure it was better for people than it was for me. You know, like and I think other people, like you could tell on our Skype call that like people were delayed in different lengths. Also, there's another thing, is our Discord randomly didn't work, like, that night. I've never heard it, and everyone sounded like robots.
Yeah, Discord's generally been pretty good. I mean, that was really the first time I ever experienced anything bad with it. But, yeah, of course, anyway, the one night when we have a bunch of people, but...
Anyway, we'll try to do this. I'd love to do it on a monthly basis, but I'm not going to promise that, but... something like that.
Yeah, I mean, it was about a month since the last one, so, I mean, I think we could schedule it in there. Essentially, it's just a 2-hour block at minimum, you know, that I have to block out to play video games. Oh, poor us, you know?
Yeah.
But yeah, enough of that multiplayer business. You've been playing some single-player. Well, I guess it does have multiplayer, but I know you've been playing the single-player.
Yeah, a little bit. I have been playing... Resident Evil Revelations 2.
Oh, baby, I am so excited to hear your thoughts on this absolutely fantastic game.
Oh, yeah, definitely. So it went on sale, and with the combination of you and Estuardo telling me to get it, I got it. I've been wanting to get it. It's just one of those things of, you know, flooded in games, but it's like, okay, it's on sale. I'm not gonna get the physical version. Might as well get it now. Whatever. It might go on sale, but I want to play it now too. Plus, it has cool online, you know, which we've played already. And first off, I just want to talk about how gorgeous it is. I mean, it really is, like, for, you know, it goes for the realistic look on Switch, which we don't have tons of those games. I mean, Skyrim, maybe? And this looks way better than Skyrim. Well,
yeah, Skyrim's a super old port, you know?
Yeah. That's what I'm saying. It's like, we don't have a lot of really realistic looking games. And this game looks phenomenal on Switch, like one of the best looking games on Switch. In that style, I'm not going to say it's like, I mean, you know what I mean, right?
Yeah, you might prefer more of like a Splatoon, very colorful kind of aesthetic.
Like ARMS is like amazing too, you know, but just like it's not as impressive.
It does a really good job of, like you said, nailing that. We're going for a realistic approach here. We want it to feel like a real world, you know, in a real life situation. Yeah, despite it being like zombies and all sorts of crazy creatures coming at you.
Right. And so this is a direct sequel to Revelations. I mean, it is a sequel, and it's definitely in the same, like, it's fun because it's its own Resident Evil franchise, which I think is really cool. Like, it's its own branch off of it, you know. I think, like what you were saying, it's like the originals, and then...
Yeah, it's like they've got, the original remakes are sort of, they keep that, you know, we're going to stay sort of faithful to the original, really sort of, we'll give you the stationary camera angles, you know. This one is like a nice blend of, we're going to have some horror elements in here, but also more action-y, you know, like, sure, you might need to, you know, not necessarily just, you know, blow through all your ammo and never worry about it, but, like, if you're somewhat, you know, conservative, you're not really going to run into an issue of running out of ammo. And then, now I wonder if they're going to take Resident Evil 8 in that same first-person point of view, like, and that have, you know, maybe be the new direction of Resident Evil, which I wouldn't be against because I really like 7 a lot.
Yeah. So, I mean, I don't have a lot of. I mean, I've played a little bit of the original Resident Evil games. I've played through 4 with a friend. I love that game. It was great. I'd like to play through it again soon. I haven't played any 5, 6, 7. So, you know, and the only one like I can really say that I've really played through. multiple times, is Revelations. And so Revelations 2 is like a no-brainer for me because it's like I've wanted to play it. I remember finally playing it on 3DS, and then Revelations 2 didn't come to Wii U. But I remember the week that I beat Revelations, like the week after it came to Vita, and I really wanted to get it, really did. But it's for Vita.
But good thing you waited.
Yeah, totally. So, playing through the game, this game is way more mature. Like, not mature. I think that's a silly word to use, but way more gruesome and violent than the first one. Like, I mean, you get captured and you're taken to this facility warehouse thing where there's just like tons of bodies hanging on hooks, you know?
Like pools
and, like,
of
there's
blood.
Literally pools of blood, yeah, everywhere and covered on the walls. And it's like, it's gross. I mean, it's like, yee, you know? And it's pretty freaky. And also, like, there's like way more like swearing and F-bombs. Like, there was none of that. And in the Revelations, you know? And it's weird to think about, like, it really is crazy that Revelations was a 3DS game. That's crazy to me because playing through it, because I reviewed Revelations on Switch, it's a very impressive game. I mean, it does not feel like, and it doesn't feel like it was a 3DS game. You know, playing through it, it's almost hard to believe because it looks good and it plays good. And Revelations 2 plays a lot like the first one. Surprisingly, it just
looks way better.
Yeah, it does. You can see some of the similar models, but I mean, like, the environments.
Well, yeah, like you said, and I think
the textures are way better.
That probably has a lot to do with like the graphic nature of it as well. Is like, can you really get super detailed blood and and gore and all that kind of thing in the 3DS version without it sort of bogging down, you know? So then with development, around the PS4 and Xbox, obviously that's not something they ever had to worry about. So I think that's also why that's probably ramped up. And maybe, definitely. Like you said, maybe the Nintendo factor too. They sort of tone it down a little bit.
Yeah, I was thinking if it's 3DS, I bet they tone it down a little. Maybe, I don't know. And they also had the Mercenaries mode, which is pretty violent on the 3DS. But anyway, just for people, I'm just talking differences for anyone who has played the original Revelations, but not the second. And then they really do make more. I mean, they enhance a lot of gameplay in the second with the two characters at once. Now you're always, Revelations, the first one, a lot of time you're with someone, but you don't control them, and they don't really do anything.
Ugh, I can't.
But you are doing conversations. You are doing conversations, which I don't know. I don't think it's bad. I know what you're saying. I kind of like it. I kind of like it, and like, for instance, there's in Revelations 2, you are switching between them all the time. There's like a side character who doesn't have a gun, but will have. They're basically, they took over the scanner from the original game. So you scan the environment.
The scanner personified.
Yeah, it is. And so they can see and they find shiny objects, and it just adds that. I like that because it really kind of makes you stop and kind of check out the detail of the environments, and because it's so heavily there's a huge difference when, like, finding 5 bullets is like, oh my goodness, this is the best, which I love when stuff is precious like that. When the ammo is really, like, hard to get, and you want to punch and
knife them or something.
Knife them as much as you can and stuff. And
I think that always makes it you more on edge as well. Just the fact that, like, all right, if I run into a room where I really can't work my way out of here, and I blast through, like, all my bullets, what am I going to do? So it's like you want to hold on to those as much you can.
Right, and so exactly. It's like. And that's another thing I'm gonna get to is, like, there was a section that was so difficult, where you unlock a bunch of zombies at once and they're coming at you and you have to get something done. And I mean, I did it over and over again, and you can change the difficulty, and that's what you told me to do. But I'm not changing the difficulty.
Well,
And,
it can't go any lower than easy, I think.
No, it wasn't easy. I was playing through it on normal, and so there's a part that it's like the way it works is kind of weird because you'll bleed, and like they can hit you and you'll start bleeding, and you need a tourniquet to stop it from bleeding. But like if you don't have a tourniquet, then you'll just keep bleeding until you find an herb or something.
Yeah.
There is more of the crafting. There's a little tiny bit of crafting in it where you can like put stuff together, like a red and a green herb, or you make Molotov cocktails, with stuff you find. I mean, I haven't dug too far deep into that, but
those are always good to
too.
have handy, though.
Yeah, something that's really cool that I like that wasn't in the original is the upgrade tree, the skill tree.
Oh yes, that's really cool.
With BP points, I mean, you can upgrade how, like, for instance, like when you crouch, your attacks are 50% more, stuff like that. And then you can, each of those different things, you can use your BP points that you earn after each section to increase them. And you can get like different stages of each one. So it's like, well, if you pay 2,000 BP, you'll unlock this ability, and then the next one is 3,000, and it'll be like from 50% to 75%, and then the next one is 5,000, and it'll be from 75 to 85% or something like that, So cool system, cool things to look at. I was hoping I could cheese it with the amiibo, but I don't think you can for the main campaign. Yeah, and I'm sure you can like for the what's the side mode called? The raid mode. Yeah, you can do that in the original, in the Revelations. You can cheese it with amiibo and get tons of BP. But
cheater.
Anyway, yeah, no, totally. But it doesn't really. All it does is like it makes it so you can always stock up on what you want. I don't know. Like you still have to have the skill and stuff. But yeah, I mean, playing through it, the story's really cool. The using different characters I really like. And man, is this game a lot like The Last of Us. I mean, this is like... I can't believe I haven't listened to a lot of people talk about Revelations 2, but wow, like they definitely saw The Last of Us and like, I want to make a game like that. Yeah. And there's literally the section with, what's his name?
Joel? Oh, wait, are you talking about which one?
No, on Revelations 2.
Oh, yeah. Isn't it Chris?
No.
Oh my god.
What's the name? It's the older guy.
Oh, Barry.
That's it. Barry, and
old Barry
then he he's with this young girl, and it's like the same thing.
Yeah, it's funny. I never even thought about that connection, but that is a good.
Oh yeah, but then they even do the same. They do the same thing where, but the little girl, and this is kind of spoily, I guess. Maybe.
Then don't say it.
I'll just say the little girl has a skill she can use that is just like something from The Last of Us. So I mean, it's crazy. So I mean, I'm not saying it's bad at all. I mean, that's cool because The Last of Us is a cool game, And so I think they're definitely, it's like Resident Evil Revelations, like infused with lots of like an ode to Last of Us 2, which I think is awesome. And so I played through the first chapter. I've only played through the first chapter, and I really liked it. And I'm excited to go on to the next stuff and everything. So because this was released episodic, which if you think about it, isn't too much different from the original release because the original was episodic. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So having them all bundled in one is not a big deal. And
for me, it was always just a good spot to be like, well, I'm gonna put it down for the day, and I'll pick back up later.
Yeah, and you know what? And that transfer is really good to the Switch, right? So it's like, it's funny because you're thinking episodic, well, that's good for the 3DS, but now we're back on the handheld again, So it's like,
yeah, no, for
works.
sure.
It works really well. But I really haven't played it handheld too much. Actually, I don't know if I've played it at all handheld because I've been wanting to try the motion control that I loved playing in handheld. So when I didn't love playing on the TV with the Joy-Cons, and you can't play with the Pro Controller motion control. So what I need to do is just play a handheld. But Anyway, I really am enjoying the game. It is pretty, it's pretty freaky, but it's not like that freaky. I mean, it's like Revelations. I mean,
yeah, it's got like a couple
little
eerie spots,
a little more gruesome.
I think it throws a jump scare or two at you, but like, yeah, it's not like gonna be sitting on the edge of your seat, scared the entire time.
No. So, I mean, I hate those kind of games, but I'm playing through Revelations too. So, yeah, cool. But yeah, that's Resident Evil Revelations 2, and that's about it. It used to be a Nintendo game, but now it's a Nintendo game.
Yeah, nobody likes Nintendo games.
Nintendo.
No, I've been playing Fortnite. Yes, I've been playing a little Fortnite. Now, let me ask you a question. Do you know anything about Fortnite?
Yes, I do. Aaron is obsessed with it. So
Really?
he plays it all the time. Oh yeah, he plays it all the time on Xbox.
That's so funny. I would not have pegged him as a Fortnite fan, but I mean, I guess thinking about it, it makes sense. He's a big Splatoon man.
And he has a guy to play with too that they play all the time. So
yeah, so I mean, I've heard so much about PUBG and Fortnite on other podcasts and other YouTube shows and stuff, and so I've seen some video, and I was like, it looks like it might be interesting, but I'm not gonna spend money to like play it on PS4 or anything. I wouldn't play it enough, and for just some reason I didn't even think like, oh duh, it's free on the computer, like it's free to play. So I was like, yeah, so you could just download it on your PC and play the Battle Royale game for free. I think there is some sort of single player. I don't know if that's
because it's pre-release or something, right?
Yeah, I think it's still in early access or something, which is
Whatever
so
that
funny.
means. It's so weird.
Yeah, because both those games, PUBG as well, it's not like technically done yet. So it's like I think it pretty much just allows them to be like, oh, if there's a bug, like whatever. I guess in Fortnite, like right now when you play the game, you just get like a random character, like just their appearance is completely random. I guess the final game will let you sort of customize your own character. Mm-hmm. So I guess that's something to look forward to if you do play the game a lot, But for those who don't know what Fortnite is, it's a battle royale game. At least the game mode I'm playing, and what that means is it's just one map, like a huge map, and 100 people are just dropped into it. So they actually have like it. In PUBG, it's like a plane. In this, it's like a school bus with like rockets on it, and just like flies over the map. And you jump out, and then you land, and you just go search the area for like weapons and materials. Now, what's cool about Fortnite is that you have like a tool to break things down. So you could like break down the tree to get wood. You could break down a house to get wood, or if it's a stone house to get bricks and stones. And what you could do is you could build forts or just bridges and barriers and whatever you could imagine while sort of battling. So, as you're going around, the items are random. Some houses will have like a really good item or nothing or whatever. But when you encounter other people, like obviously it's the game mode is you want to be the last man standing. So, you want everyone to like. And that could mean you could go out and kill 30 people, or
where are you playing this on? Sorry, are you
PC
on your PC? Okay, you mentioned that you could have. I didn't know if you did. Okay, gotcha.
Yeah, no, it's free to play on the computer. I think you need to buy Fortnite on Xbox or PS4 to play.
No, I think it's free. It's free on Xbox.
Is it?
To do the battle royale.
Oh, maybe. Yeah. Okay, maybe. All right, so. Well, that I didn't know either. But anyway, yeah, no, I'm playing it on PC. So
okay, sorry.
So yeah, so you want to be the last person standing, but that doesn't necessarily mean you have to go out and kill everyone. You could sort of play a more campy style as well. But what happens is periodically throughout the game, they reduce the like little zone you have to be in, otherwise you die. And so obviously that forces people into a tighter
storm
area.
Or something.
Yeah,
happening, right?
Yeah. So you need to be in the dome, otherwise you get caught in the storm. And essentially what that does, it keeps shrinking down, so obviously it's not like a game lasts forever where no one, there's 3 people, but they're on the opposite side of the map and they never see each other, So they keep...
yeah, that's a smart design choice.
Yeah, so it's cool, and when you die, you can just leave the game and go into a new game, So
yeah,
so that's what's really nice about it is there's really never any downtime because when you die, you just simply go to a new fresh game. But yeah, the fort building is cool because you and me, okay, we find each other and we start attacking. You could just start erecting walls like in the middle of the gunfire that like the other person can fire at that wall and like sort of prevent it from completing because it takes a couple seconds, but it still shields you. And then there's like a ramp, so it's like you could just literally build a ramp. And what's cool is when you're building it, so you start going up, you know what I mean, up in the air. It's like sort of a 90-degree angle.
Yeah.
No, 45-degree angle probably would be the correct term. But and you could just build that like with no support beam or anything. So you just have like these huge long like essentially stairs like up on top of a mountain if you want, and you can
right.
So or like if you're crossing water, like you could literally just keep building plaques as you're running. Like you won't have to slow down or anything. You could just keep running straight and keep clicking the build like a ground in front of you, and it's sort of interesting. Especially for me, I'm not very good at the game. I sort of get my butt kicked. There's a few times I've gotten I got top 10 like 2 times I think. But generally it's like I kill one person if I'm lucky.
Oh really? Okay.
Yeah, I'm not like usually when I get into combat it's bad news for Casey, Like I said, there's been a couple times where I got some
You don't have
kills.
your bubbler?
No, I don't have my splatter shot. But that's sort of the key is to be able to sort of battle while building protection. When I encounter people, generally like I'm sort of concentrating on trying to kill them, without like, but if I build a couple walls periodically, like to give me some shelter or, shield would be beneficial. And that's sort of what the good players are doing. Like they're able to sort of manage building and battling and keeping themselves protected all at once, so it's definitely a fun game. I don't think it's a game I would ever like get so hooked on, like that's all I end up playing.
Really? I mean, but you don't have any games like that, do you?
I mean, I had back in the day, like Diablo was definitely one of those games, like WoW.
Yeah, but I mean like currently.
Oh, yeah, no. I've sort of bounced around a lot.
Yeah, I mean...
From RPG to RPG. But,
yeah, I mean, you do that, but then it has an end, and then...
But then you just start right back up again. But yeah, no, this, like, I get into a little habit where it's like, okay, maybe I'll go one more, and then all of a sudden you have, like, a pretty good run, and you're like, that was pretty fun. Like, I'll try one more time. Like I said, it's nice that you can just jump in so easily. Like, oh, dead, jumped in a new match. Sort of, so many people are playing the game that you get in within, a couple, like a minute or two, and you're back into the next game. So, I think, this came out on mobile and all that as well, which I don't know exactly how that would work well. It seems strange to me, but this game has to be coming to Switch. I think at E3, it's going to be, hey, coming to Switch, like, it just seems like if they can get it working well on a mobile phone, you know what I mean? I think they're going to be able to get this working well. I guess obviously it'll have to do with the internet and the infrastructure to be able to have 100-person matches. But I don't know. It just seems like Fortnite wants to be everywhere, so I think if it could be done, it will come to the Switch. If they could, like.
But I mean, who makes it?
Epic Games. I don't know. Let me see.
What else have they done?
I think they've done quite a bit. Let me see. 1 second. All right. So they've done. So this is going from 2018 backwards. So Fortnite. They did Robo Recall, Battle Breakers. All right, let's look for Gears of War Judgment, Gears of War 3, Gears of War 2, Unreal Tournament 3. So they're in this kind of realm, so it makes sense that sort of Fortnite is, you know, your first person shooter with mixing in some other elements and stuff. But yeah, no, I feel like it's gonna come to the Switch. That's what I feel.
Oh yeah,
I could totally see maybe on the Switch with friends, because you can, like you said, make groups where you go in with a group of people.
Yep.
And I feel like that would be more fun because then all of a sudden you could build bases. You know, I mean, you could do that single player, but with like a couple, 4 people in a group, you could sort of stay tight and work different angles and strategic stuff. So I think it would be definitely pretty cool.
If it comes to Switch, I mean, I'll totally be in on it. I mean, it's just I'm not going to be playing it on Xbox.
Yeah.
I probably would try it if I had live, like, still, you know? But
Like I said, if you have a halfway decent computer, you could probably download it and run it. But the reason I'm pretty much finally bit into Fortnite, did you hear about Drake playing Fortnite with, like, the top, Fortnite streamer?
Yeah. I don't really know.
I guess this guy Ninja, he's just a streamer on Twitch, like the really good Fortnite player, I guess, one of the more popular ones. And like Drake was just like, I guess, playing Fortnite and like watched videos of like this guy, like, I don't know, great Fortnite match, I don't know, or whatever the heck they might have looked up. And then all of a sudden, like, Drake started playing with him in a group, and then like a couple other professional players came, and then all of a sudden I saw an article today that said that guy Ninja makes $500,000 a month from being a streamer, and that he got 10,000 subs from that Drake night. Isn't that ridiculous?
That's insane.
That's like $25,000 in subs.
Who is Drake?
Are you kidding?
I mean, I've seen like memes with him, but I don't know what he does.
He's like the most popular, one of the most popular like rapper singers out there right now.
He raps?
He's like he raps, but like he like raps and sings. He does a little like combo. Like it's not like I don't think you would think stereotypical, like it's not like hard rap or anything, it's like radio rap. So I guess maybe more like hip hop, I don't know. I'm not good with the whole genres of music, but he's like super duper popular. So
no, I know he's popular. I've never heard anything he's done. So anyway, all right, that's cool. And with Fortnite, I think it's definitely coming to Switch. So, and if it doesn't, but is it on PS4?
Yeah, Fortnite.
It is. Okay.
Fortnite is literally on like everything.
Okay.
That, like I said, it came out for all right, PS4, Xbox One, Android, Microsoft Windows, iOS, like everything.
If it's out for iOS, it's out for Switch, and that'll be cool. Hopefully, when it comes, it'll be the like finished version. And
honestly, though, even if they just got the Battle Royale mode out there, I think that would be huge.
Yeah.
Especially if they're letting you play it for free, like you don't have to pay anything. Like, who cares,
Yeah, I guess. How do they do that? How is there's this game out there that is free?
Steam's always done like early access and green light
how
and
do
all
they
that
make
stuff.
Money, Casey?
There's like microtransactions. I mean, how does any free to play game make money?
I don't know, Casey. I don't know. I mean, I do know, but
I don't know what the microtransactions actually do. I didn't really look into it more than because normally I would imagine it'd be more like cosmetic stuff. But anyway, I digress.
Mm-hmm.
Moving along here, let's talk about some Switch goodness. Enough of this non-Nintendo business.
Absolutely. So there's this game. I was looking at I was at the Villa de discount. Okay, I was seeing what was available there, and I saw this certain game that I've always been interested in that was half off, and that game is Human Fall Flat. So, Human Fall Flat is brilliant. There. So let's move on to your next game. No.
I was like, wait, hold on a second.
No.
Short and sweet. I like it.
Yeah. So I remember this came out. This is Human Fall Flat. It's a what it is it's like a 3D platformer puzzle game. But the hook is that the controls are very wonky and funny. Now, can you think of any game that fits that mold that came out on Switch?
I don't know.
Snake Pass.
No.
It's very
No, I'm just kidding.
What do you mean no? Yeah. No, it's very similar to Snake Pass. Now, except for it has the aesthetics of an N64, like, platformer. So it looks very low polygon style. It's pretty charming, but yeah. So I'm setting the base there for you for what it is. It's hilarious, and not because of the writing. The writing is fine. It's funny, but the movement of your character is so funny. You're this little blob of a character. You can design it. You can make him look, have costumes and stuff. I just made mine completely red because I thought it was funny. And you walk around, and the whole thing is you can walk around and you can jump. It's this really weird, like you walk weird. Like it does not feel good to walk really. Like it's weird. And then your jump is a little weird. Like it's more horizontal and you don't jump very high. But the main hook of the game is with the ZR and ZL with the triggers. ZL controls the left arm and ZR does the right. And so you're reaching for stuff and you're grabbing things and using physics how they should to solve things. For instance, there's a part where you have to just jump up to to a different platform, right? And it's above you, and you literally have to stick your hands out and hold them up and run and jump onto the thing and grab the edge, right? Mm-hmm. And then when you angle the camera up, then if you keep pushing forward, he will grab it and hoist himself up like a fat human being like me, and he will get on there, and it's so funny, and he'll stumble and get on top, and then so you've done it. So and then you imagine that. So then there's like swings, right? And you're literally swinging from a vine or whatever, and then you let go and grab another one. And then like it's a lot of kind of avant-garde like weirdness to it, where it's just kind of like puzzles, but they're not really hard. See, when this game was advertised to me, I thought, okay, it's gonna be one of those difficult games where you have a certain thing you have to do, and it's very obtuse. But this game is not obtuse at all. I mean,
more straightforward.
It's obtuse in all the right ways, where it's funny, but it's not something I don't understand. So basically,
it's more just like overcoming dealing with the arm movement more than anything. Like once you get that, like the puzzles are novel,
definitely
kind of thing.
Definitely. I mean, they keep introducing new things. So the way it works is the loading screen basically is you falling, and then you land into an area. So think any Mario game, anything. You just land into an area, and this has just different obstacles, doors that you go through, and then every so once you the obstacles are obvious. There's no checkpoints. I mean, there are checkpoints. Sorry, there isn't like any flags or any like things telling you, okay, you completed this section. You'll see like that it's saved, because it automatically saves. But I mean, it's obvious to you, but it doesn't like let you know. It's very, very like just generalized. And so you're making your way through obstacles, and then once you get to the end of the level of that, it's funny, like you open a door and you walk through it and there's nothing there, and you just fall through, and you just
the
fall
ultimate
down,
troll.
and then it's loading. Yeah, it's loading the next.
Gotcha.
Yep, and it's amazing. I mean, I didn't know what to expect. It was $7.50. It was $15 originally, and it was $7.50. I'm like, okay, it's $7.50. That's nothing, you know. And you know, this looks like a funny game. I've always been interested in it. It actually got like a limited release physical release.
Oh, and you missed out. What a gym.
Yeah, I think it was like $30. So I mean, you know, it's a different thing. Looking back now, I probably would have bought it. I definitely would have bought it now. But then I didn't know if I'd like it anyway. So
yeah, you don't want to waste the extra.
So Jill has been playing it with me. You know, just sitting next to me and, you know, thinking of ideas, and she thinks it's hilarious. I mean, just as well as me, because like the movement, like you just look like a little toddler. It's hilarious. Like, you know, because you gotta lift your arms up and angle the camera and then just run, and then you're stumbling along and you jump towards the cliff and get up there.
Yeah, please.
And it's so funny because it's like, okay, this is the game that someone designed, like, if I was in a platformer. Like, this is like Perry Burkham physics, is what it is.
It's Yoshi almost. I'm trying.
And getting up. Yeah, it's so funny because, you know, and like there's this part where there's a staircase and then there's a gap and then you got to get to this other platform, right? And, you know, you see this stick on the floor, and it's pointed, right? But you think, I see the stick, I'm like, okay, I'm going to take it up there, and I'm going to lay it across and walk across it like a trapeze or like a bridge, you know? And you finally get it up there, and it's so awkward to get up there, and it's hilarious, just the movement. And you get up there, and you finally set it to where you can, but you can't walk across it. Like, you can't get it to even really fit the whole gap. Or you do, it's too narrow anyway, so you can't make it over. Mm-hmm. There's probably a way that you probably could, if you jumped at the right moment and landed in the middle and jumped again, you could probably cheese it, you know? But I realized, oh my goodness, you're supposed to grab this thing and like pole vault. like grab it and then like put it on the floor, stick it there, and then jump, and then it'll bring you over. And it's like, that is so cool. I mean, like, the thing is it's kind of like how Breath of the Wild, there's this physics, but everything makes sense and works as you think it should, you know? Like there are no limits. Like, it's very simple. Everything is very simple, but there aren't any limits to what you do, which is really cool. Like, just for instance, you're on top of a train, and you need to move this train car, but you're standing on the train, you know, and you can't get off, otherwise you can't make the jump. You're standing on top of a train car where you grab the wall and then you walk so that you're pushing the train with your feet, you know, to make it move.
Interesting. Okay.
Yeah, so...
Yeah, you wouldn't necessarily maybe think of that, but...
No, definitely. I mean, it's like one of those things, okay, like, but it's like, oh, well, that makes sense. Like, I can understand that physics. Maybe it wouldn't be possible to move a train in real life, but, like, that idea makes sense, and they give you, like, little hints. Where the writing comes in is, like, these little tutorial things that will be there, and they're funny. I mean, they make all the use of how funny it looks. So, a big part of the game is that it's just funny. I mean, if you think that people falling down is funny, you'll love this game. And I think people falling down is always funny, no matter what.
What happens if they had a baby, freshly born?
It doesn't matter. When someone falls, it's funny. That's just a rule of life.
You're a sick man.
Even if they die. No, it's funny. It's just the awkward fall. Have you ever watch America's Funniest Home Videos?
Yes.
And you know, they would do those like quick like 20 falls in 30 seconds, and it's just
the highlight of your year right there. It would
kill me watching those because it's so funny. Because I don't know why. Why is it, Casey? Why is falling funny? I don't know, but anyway, really, I was really impressed with how human fall flat, how it pushes you along, and how natural everything feels. The sense of discovery and figuring out how to do the puzzles. Oh, you know, it's like, oh, there's a lock on the door, and it's like, oh, if I walk back over here, there's this rock. Like, can I really take it and just break it? And then like you take it over there and like you're trying to angle it so that you can like hit it hard, and you're failing and you're trying to finally you hit it and it breaks the lock and it's like, oh, like that's perfect, But then you can't open the door because the lock, it's like a padlock. The hook on the top is still in, so you actually have to grab that little hook and pull it out so that you can open the door.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like everything makes sense. It's not. It's like if Mario was in real life, like from a real guy named Mario, like not Super Mario, just Mario.
Lazy Mario.
Lazy Mario. That's it, and it's so funny, Casey. And I highly recommend it. I think if you like Snake Pass, it's like Snake Pass mixed in with Super Mario Odyssey, but set in like on the 64. Like it looks like it's on the 64. And you know what?
But set in the 64.
Yeah, but set in the 60. So like I like the aesthetic. I think, obviously it makes it easy. I mean, cheaper probably to make, of course. I'd love to see this game put in with as much aesthetic design as like Snake Pass, for instance. But that might take away from it too. So just because everything has this certain look and there's something charming about it. So anyway, that's Human Fall Flat. Highly recommend it. It was total sleeper hit for me. It kind of passed me by. I thought, okay, like the eShop Roundup, this game looks funny, but whatever, I never heard really anything about it. But I'm glad I bit on it, and it's fantastic. And I told you to download it, and you better have.
I did not.
Well, you better do it right now.
Nope. I ain't gonna do it. I already...
You should, though. Like, all seriousness, it's on sale. I hope it's still on sale when people hear this. It is so worth $7.50. I mean, oh my goodness. It's worth the full price, too. So, yeah.
There you go. Yep.
But anyway, we got one last game to talk about. It's a new Nindie. It's this new game that came out that Justin Nation is obsessed with.
Well,
and it's finally out on Switch.
Yep, I was gonna say as you were saying with Human Fall Flat and how it seems more realistic. Like you said, a platformer of a more realistic person.
Yeah.
This is the complete opposite. It is an unbelievably imaginative,
unrealistic,
crazy Clustertruck of a game. Yes, so now this game, I just saw, come up sort of out of the blue, and I believe it's been out for a while on PC. I believe on Steam, it came out. I don't actually know when. I think it's been like a year or so, maybe 2. But essentially what this game is, it's just a bunch of 18-wheelers driving, and you are going to be jumping from the roof of each of these 18-wheelers to another one until you hit the goal line. Now, that sounds not too difficult, but then now picture just tens, like literally like just tens of that, not literally hundreds, it's like, maybe like 30 trucks just running down like a tight area. But then each stage is sort of different, where they put in different elements. For instance, like one, it like has rocks rolling down a hill, but they're like huge rocks that are like the size of like 4 of these trucks crashing down. So you need to jump from truck to truck and make sure not to get hit by those, because
it's just insanity.
Yeah, it's literally just ridiculous. And they'll have like the one stage I was stuck on for a while was like you'd be going down like a straight area with a bunch of trucks, but then there would be trucks coming at like a complete sort of not parallel, perpendicular, right? So it's like you need to jump over a fence onto these cars that are moving from left to right full speed. So it's like really difficult, and it took me the longest time to be able to beat that level, actually, and I finally did. But it's just really hectic, but it's also pretty darn hard at times, and it can be definitely frustrating.
So this is a platformer that's in first person, right?
Yeah, so platformer first person, and it's level based, and each level sort of is the same, right? Like it starts out the same, but there's just randomness thrown in with how the trucks react with one another, you know? So
but the levels are designed.
Yeah, so yeah,
right?
every level is designed, and like they have like a spot, or at least from what I've played so far, like the trucks have a spot where they spawn, and then it's like once they get going, things are not always the same, because some trucks might nick a side of another truck and then end up crashing and cause it, you know what I mean? So
Sure.
It's not always the same. Like, you can't just, like, oh, I found out the strategy to beat this, I'll beat this every time, because there are random elements thrown in, which is nice, you know? But, like I said, it can be really frustrating at times. So,
like, you can get lucky or you can get unlucky.
For real, yeah. So, the controls themselves are pretty simple. It's just, you know, you've got a sprint button and a jump button. And then you just move left and right. And then you can also, you know, as you said, it's in first person, so your right stick is sort of where you're looking. Now, what I found the most difficult part of the controls is that right stick. Anytime I moved it, I felt like I lost complete control of the character, and I would usually die. So, like, most of the time, I try not to hit that left and right. Like, I'd rather aim myself, like, sort of strafe left and right with the left stick, opposed to, like, looking to the left and moving forward, you know? Because it just... things are happening very fast, so when you sort of throw that element in there, and it's like, it would just sort of disorient me, and I'd usually end up dying. So it's... I'm sure, you know, I've gotten a little better with it, obviously, over just doing, you know, more levels, but it will take a little bit of time to get used to with that. So now it's funny because I came on here getting ready to talk about Clustertruck with a sort of a negative spin on the game, a negative feeling, but that all changed just a few hours before recording.
Oh, really? You gave it some more time?
Well, what I did was I finally unlocked the double jump. So by completing...
yes, I've heard about this.
Yeah, so by completing levels, you get points for how fast you do it. If you do it on, like, the first try, you get some bonus points. If you get really big air, you know, where you jump off a truck and you sort of get some hang time, you get bonus points for that. So it all adds up, and eventually you could buy some upgrades, and they should just give you the double jump right off the bat, or they should, like, have you do a set of puzzles without it and then just unlock it for you, because it is so much better with that double jump. It gives you, like, just enough agency where, like, when you're coming down, if you're a little bit like, oh, I'm not perfectly lined up with that truck, I can do a little double jump and sort of push myself to the left or right, you know? Obviously, it helps a lot when you're trying to go far distances as well, but it's just like...
The double jump, man. It's the magic of the double jump.
Yeah,
it's the best.
It like, infinitely times more fun and less frustrating.
Yeah.
Because, like I said, I think if I had the double jump on that level that I was stuck on for quite a while, that I said you sort of had to, you know, take a hard right turn, you know, full speed moving forward, like having that other double jump to sort of flatten it out would have been nice, but I'm still working my way through. I'm going to definitely continue because, like I said, now that I've got the double jump, it is just so much more fun because instead of, like, dying and getting frustrated, like, oh, I need to... You know, it feels like I need to just be perfect to be able to do this. The double jump gives you a little leeway, and I blew through a bunch of the stages relatively quick afterwards. It just felt really nice. So,
it's not the best. I mean, I love when, like, you're stuck on something, and then you move on, and then you just blaze through a bunch of levels.
Oh yeah, it was so nice.
It feels like, you know, like new skill, and you know what I mean. So.
Now, there are some other upgrades you can continue to unlock, but actually, I believe Donald wrote the review for the website, and I saw one of his cons was that, aside from the double jump, the upgrades really weren't that beneficial, so there's that. But like I said, getting that double jump is just a game changer, so if you do end up picking it up and you are frustrated a little early on, just push through to get that double jump, and I'm telling you, you'll probably have a lot more fun with it.
That's great advice. And I do plan on getting this someday.
Honestly, it might be... I think it'll be a good pickup on a sale game.
Yep, definitely.
That's sort of where I'd rank it. Like, I'm having fun, but
yeah.
I should say we got this code from the fine people over at Tiny Build.
Tiny Build,
so
yeah.
we thank
Tiny
them for
Builder.
that. But yeah, this
and we will be talking to them at PAX too.
yes, I can't wait. But yeah, so I would definitely keep your eye on that Villa de discount.
Yeah, giddy up. Well, speaking of the Villa de discount, let's take a quick break, and we're gonna come back with a relatively small Switch eShop roundup.
And another relatively light news section before we get into the big boy, the Nindie showcase for the topic of the show.
Giddy up.
Alrighty, we are back. And it's funny to think that 15 games is considered not that many.
Mm-hmm.
But here we are with the eShop Roundup.
Yeehaw.
And to start us off, we have Gem Smashers for $19.99.
Gym Smashers?
Gem Smashers. That sounds great. Yeah, this is Gem Smashers for a pretty, $19.99. That's not too cheap.
Yeah, that's a premium eShop price right there.
A fast-paced action puzzle game. Are you ready for it?
And now this game has come out on the Wii and the 3DS.
Really?
Yes, so
Interesting. Well, it's not a bad. I mean, it's a colorful looking game.
you could tell it was probably originally a Wii game,
Yep.
ported
it looks
over
like
two
that.
times over. But yeah,
Yep.
little puzzle game. Moving
There we go.
right along, we've got Neon Wall. I feel like there's a lot of Neon games on the Switch so far.
There are.
Clocking in at $9.99. Now, this is looks like a first-person shooter in like a crazy
like
weird
Puzzle shooter.
Yeah, I was gonna say I should say yeah, 3 game modes: runner, puzzle, and time
Well,
trial. So
Interestingly enough, it says this. I mean, there's a big emphasis on Joy-Con. But it looks like it's on rails or something, and like you're using both Joy-Con's motion. That's what the trailer looks like. It looks insane. It looks pretty cool. I don't know. it looks
support
really
for
cool,
different
actually.
game controller modes.
Yeah, interesting.
Interesting.
And I'm sure it's dual stick, but then you can use your Joy-Con too as well. But that looks cool. $9.99 Neon Wall. Next up, though, Casey, I was scared that the world was gonna implode.
We
You
live
know.
to see another week, Perry.
We do. Yep. And that is because Hamster is tossing us another Arcade Archive Neo Geo game with Aero Fighters 3. Now, I bet you can't guess what kind of game Aero Fighters is.
I mean, it's tough to decide, but I don't know. I see Arrow in there. It must be a shoot 'em up.
And this is quite the shoot 'em up. Do you see these screenshots?
No, I
Do
wasn't.
you see the... What in the heck? There is a ship that...
is a
is
falcon or not a falcon? A phoenix almost. It looks
No,
like.
no. Keep going. There's one that's like a monkey playing an electric guitar infused into like an anime
Happy
ship.
balloon face.
It's so weird.
Interesting.
That's a weird
That looks
looking
cool.
game.
That looks cool.
Yeah,
Good old Neo Geo, baby.
that actually does look cool. I kind of get it. $7.99. But let's move on to...
The Long Reach for $14.99. Now, this is like an adventure game, right? I believe. Long Reach is an adventure game filled with colorful characters, puzzles, and a shock of discovery. Wait,
blood and sexual themes.
we're not supposed to say joy of discovery. That can't be right.
What? Is that what it
And
says?
and a shock of discovery. Wait, joy of discovery, shock. I don't know. I'm assuming there's some sort of mystery about.
Yeah.
Visually, it looks nice. Looks pretty
Yeah,
cool.
it's cool pixel art.
Sort of
lighting effects.
dark themed. It looks like it might be. Cool stuff. Cool stuff. Oh,
Gotcha.
baby, I know
Well-
you've been waiting for this next one for a while now.
Bingo! That's right.
That's not the name.
Bingo for Nintendo Switch.
I thought you were
And
gonna-
it's at the Jimmy price of $4.99. They won't even give us the gold coins, which actually are useful now.
No, look. Oh yeah, no.
Or maybe they do get him now.
Yeah, I don't know if it's prorated now. Like you just get the 49 points or whatever the heck.
You know what I was thinking? Remember last week, and I edited this too. We were talking about the gold coins, and it says like the eligible. I think it means you'll get 25 coins for it. Not you can use 25 coins.
Oh, that would make sense.
I'm surprised no one called us out on that, like on Twitter, like you idiots. That's not what it means. But yeah, since this is $4.99, you get 25 gold coins because that's like 25 cents, which is like
whatever
yeah. Anyway,
nothing wrong with that.
that's bingo. So if you like bingo, it's 4 players. All right.
If you like
Moving
bingo,
on.
you might like this next game, Enchanting Mahjong Match.
Yeah.
For $4.99 as well. Also eligible for 25 points.
Yeah, it doesn't. It looks good. It's a nice looking game. If you like Mahjong Match.
Yeah, I don't really know much about that. It looks sort of like a Dominoes-esque game.
Yeah.
Yeah. There you have it.
But next up we have World Neverland Elnia Kingdom for $29.99.
What a mouthful.
I know. And so what this game, it looks like is it an RPG?
Yeah, it looks like
It's
it
a
definitely
kingdom
looks like an
simulation
RPG
game where you immigrate to an imaginary kingdom and enjoy your free life. So
maybe you build up a little area kind of thing.
It kind of looks cool. There's microtransactions. There's DLC.
$29.99. That's a
interesting. This is an interesting looking game.
It's a full game right there.
Yep. Anyway.
Next up here, we've got Sparkle 3 Genesis.
That's right.
Now, that also clocking a lot of games coming in at $4.99 this week.
Yeah, this is the $4.99 week.
Now, I guess if you played Sparkle before, it's more Sparkle from what I gather here. I've never played Sparkle though.
It's a nice looking game for sure. It looks like organisms.
It looks scary and I don't like it.
It's cool. It reminds me of like the old the Shinin things, the Neo or whatever.
I don't know what you're talking about, Bobby.
Yes, you do. You played it on 3DS, and it was Neo
Geo?
No, come on. It was a Wii U launch title on the eShop. And it's the micro Nano Assault. There it is. Nano Assault. That's how I was going for. Nano Assault. It kind of looks like that. Anyway, next up we have the aforementioned Clustertruck for $14.99, and you can see a good trailer and how crazy the game looks on there.
Moving along, we've got just last day of June for $19.99. Yes. Now another adventure game, correct? It looks gorgeous.
It does, and very kind of scary.
Clayish, almost, the faces.
The people don't have eyes.
Yeah, they have sockets. They have eye sockets, but no eyes.
The direction looks amazing, and I know that Justin Nation is like obsessed with this game, and it looks awesome. It really does look good, and it's $19.99, so it's kind of a high price, but this is gonna be one I will be getting on a sale. Absolutely. I
wish I liked adventure games more because it really does. Yeah, it looks like clay almost.
You just gotta have the right experience, you know. You just gotta have the right setup for them. But I know what you're saying. Yeah,
I just generally speaking, it's just not usually my thing.
Yep. But next up, we have Tesla versus Lovecraft, which is an interesting, cool-looking game. It's a top-down
bullet hell
epic clash of science and madness.
Action first-person arcade it's from 10 Tons. You know what kind of game this is.
Oh, is it?
Yeah, there you go.
Okay, I was gonna say it looks like a 10 Tons game.
I tell you what,
it looks like really cool.
They are dedicated to the top-down freaking shooters.
We haven't seen them for a long time.
This
game looks cool, man.
There you go, $14.99. It could be yours.
Yeah.
And I bet it's better than Jeej. Next up here,
I think I heard that was their top-selling game.
Judge?
I think so.
Oh,
yeah.
that's horrible news.
On Switch. I don't know. Neon Chrome, man, so good.
Well, that's what I was going to say. I wish more people bought the good one that they could have enjoyed. But
yeah, well, yeah. But next up, for $59.99, we have
Kirby Star Allies.
Yep.
Whee!
A game that I was trying to convince you to buy.
The Pink Puff is back.
When you were giving in
HD, and he's not alone.
Yep, this is a pretty looking game.
I tell you what, maybe come PAX time, who knows? Maybe we'll.
Who knows?
After one of the PAXs, we're like, we gotta find a GameStop.
Yep.
We're split it.
Yeah, like we'll have time to do that.
Not if we don't sleep.
That's true.
Next up here, we've got another retail release, and that is Attack on Titan 2 for $59.99, and they also have like a $99.99. Yeah, with what's that? Come with all the DLC. Let's see. Deluxe edition contains Attack on Titan 2 game, 20 additional outfit sets.
Yep. Including cheerleader outfit.
Man, so you're really paying $40 extra for 20 outfits? Is that what we're gathering?
It looks like it. All these outfits are seriously the bad boy outfit for $3.49.
I might just buy the bad boy outfit and not even buy the game. I just want the outfit. Yeah, look at that. All the outfits.
Looking game.
Yeah, I watched some of the anime. And it's pretty cool, actually. I really liked it. I never followed it all the way through. But, essentially, like, there's this, like, one town and these titans. Like, they gotta protect their town from the titans. And to kill these titans, you gotta, like, cut the back of their neck or something. So, like, you see these people with, flying all around to try and, like, get around them. But, obviously, they're just huge human beings. So, they just, like, if they get a hold of you, you're in trouble.
Right.
But, yeah, I don't know. I heard the first game was miserable. So, I don't know... I haven't heard much.
But I think it sold really well because the IP is so strong.
Yeah, so. Hopefully they straighten things out with the second one.
Yeah, but almost going to the opposite end of the spectrum, we have Swim Out, which I talked about last week from Losange Lab. Sorry, I don't know how to say that. How would you say it?
I don't know.
Well, who's laughing now?
Well, I just was.
We're both laughing.
Yeah,
but yeah, this is $5.99. I was literally just playing it while Casey was talking. And it's a great little puzzle game with lots of different hooks to play through, and it's great. I recommend it. It's awesome.
Now, closing out game number 15 here. The old number game, I almost said. Well, actually, I didn't almost say it. I actually said it. But Shantae and the Pirate's Curse making its way over to the Switch. We've known about this for a while, right? That it was on its way.
I think so. I don't know. I think it kind of was like, hey, it's coming in here.
I've still never played a Shantae game, and I'd like to, but it's just on that like outer tier of like, there's something better to play, you know?
Yeah.
This game is $19.99, and you can get 100 coins for this bad boy. But yeah, no, I think Shantae. You know, it's a way forward platformer, so you sort of know what you're getting into. I just don't
like that. I just don't like the character at all.
See, I think
I'm just so not into it.
I thought, like, she's pretty cool, you know? I mean, but like I said, I don't know. It's just, it's never been enough to really finally drag me in, you know?
The art is so good. Like, I mean, it's amazing pixel art, you know? Really,
that's
really
part of the
harkens back
reason
to, like,
why
Disney.
I'm interested, you know?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, it harkens back to like Disney SNES games, you know. But yeah, and I like Pirate's Curse definitely. I mean, I've played that, and then I've played the DSi one, and I could not get through the DSi one at all. But I got through Pirate's Curse, and I like it. And you have it.
Yeah, I know.
On the 3DS.
I was gonna say I know it's the humble.
And that's the best way to play it. That's the best way to play it for sure because that 3D and it's the same game. Like, they don't have any difference in graphics besides, like, the little character pop-ups. But
yeah, no, for sure.
I'd recommend playing it on 3DS. But it's also on Switch for $19.99. And with that, we will be ending the eShop Roundup. And I believe, before I check, yeah, we're going to head straight into the news talk.
News Talk with Casey Gibson.
Alrighty. As I mentioned earlier, we don't have a crazy big news section up here because we're sort of going to parlay all the big news into our topic of the show with the Direct, Nindie showcase. So we've just got some other tidbits here that we're going to cover before we get into that. Now, I know nobody really cares, but I figured we should still talk about Sonic Mania.
GX cares.
Yeah.
GX cares.
Yeah, GX is shaking his fist in the air. Sonic Mania Plus getting a physical release later this year. It's going to have 2 new characters, Mighty and Ray. It's going to have an encore mode with, I believe, remixed stages. 32-page art book, and it's going to be $29.99 coming this summer.
That sounds cool to me. I mean, it sounds awesome. Because, like, if I was a Sonic fan, like $30 for a physical version of the best Sonic game for a while.
Oh yeah,
sounds cool, right?
And a couple extra, like the art book, like that's going to be. If you're going to be buying this, you probably love Sonic, so an art book is pretty cool to get as well.
Like I feel like if Casey didn't buy it, I feel like he would have already pre-ordered the 20, because it's like at Best Buy it would be like $22,
So what does me already buying it have to do with my pre-order?
I just don't think you pre-ordered it.
I pre-ordered it 3 times over.
You would.
I wanted to have some sealed copies,
Now, this next bit of news is unbelievable. I have to take off my glasses to see if I'm reading it correctly.
Yeah, I think you are. What is it, Perry? You got those peepers back on?
Yep. Splatfest sponsored by Nike. Yeah.
Now this is, I believe, in Japan only.
Boo.
Because I think
yeah,
I think they've done
they
corporate
do different stuff.
Things, like sponsorships.
They've done the
I guess you would
Transformers.
say.
I think the only one I think of. I mean, they did I think that's the only one. Otherwise, like Red and Blue, which was such a cool Splatfest.
Yeah, it's
Pokemon Red versus
Japan
Pokemon
only.
Blue. What a great Splatfest.
Yeah, this one, it would be really funny if they had like the Nike in America, but it's literally, I guess, they've just got 2 different shoes up there, and you pick which one. And I guess technically it's the latest model versus the popular model,
Okay, sure.
But it's funny, the little like Splatfest T-shirts are just like Nike Air, like with the swoosh on it, and
yeah, heck yeah,
it's pretty cool. I mean,
why not?
Now, they would never do this, of course, because, no sponsorship person's going to want to pay to potentially lose. But imagine they had a Coke versus Pepsi Splatfest.
It'd be unbelievable.
The blue and the red paint. Oh, baby.
Yeah, if they did that, it'd be like Pepsi versus Diet Pepsi or something.
Yeah, because they would never want to. Yeah, they, like I said, you wouldn't want to be like, oh, I lost to the competitor and I paid to be, you know what I mean? I paid for that
official.
advertising. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. But even that, I thought I posted the best Splatfest, I think, to Twitter, and that would be Almond Joy versus Mounds. I think that would be the best. Couldn't you totally see that?
Aren't they
so
like the
wacky
same
and
things?
Weird. Well, the Almond Joy is
a bar, right?
Is milk chocolate. Or no. Almond Joy is milk chocolate, and then it has almonds in it, and then the Mounds is the dark chocolate, and it doesn't. So they're very similar though, and they're both delicious. And I remember eating them both when I picked up Super Mario Odyssey.
Good old Mario Odyssey, baby.
Yep.
When I got to meet the Big Reg.
That was amazing. Now, the opposite of Reggie, his nemesis, Phil Spencer.
That dirty dog.
Featherton. Yeah. He apparently, Captain Obvious's news here. He's willing to let Banjo in Smash Bros.
Yeah, I thought it was funny. Someone just tweeted like, "Hey, like we want Banjo in Smash Brothers." Or honestly, they might have just been like, I think it might have literally been like, "Hey, Phil Spencer, would you want to put Banjo in Smash Brothers?" And he just replied, "Yep." And there you go.
That's
and
awesome.
that's how you make video game news.
Well, you know what? I feel like the walls are all crumbling down in a good way. Like,
Well, you know what it is?
Microsoft. What?
Well, I was going to say, I think Microsoft is willing to do these, like obviously this seems like it'd be a no-brainer, because, I don't know. But as far as, like, the cross-platform play, obviously Microsoft is cool with Xbox and PC because, they run those markets.
Yeah, that's both.
But, like, to be part with Switch, it's like, they don't care, it's like, whatever. And then you get Sony, who's now in first place, and like, well, no, we don't want to do those we want people to play on a PS4 with other people who play on the PS4 because we want you to buy our system. Where Microsoft's sort of in that spot where it's like, we're just going to curry favor with the fans and give them what they want, And,
right.
And I think that's, like you said, that's benefits the gamer because now all of a sudden, with Rocket League, I don't think you're ever going to have to worry about, I couldn't find a match in Rocket League, between all the...
Unless you're Danny Bivens.
Yeah, the Bivs. Well, nobody wants to play with Danny.
But,
I'm just kidding.
Yeah, I think, like, but I just mean, like, I think they want to go, okay, what if we did put Banjo-Kazooie on the Switch? Like, wait a second. All of Banjo-Kazooie fans are Nintendo fans, from the 64, and they have a Switch. Why don't we release it on Switch? What harm would that do us?
I mean,
it's like we would make tons of money.
Yeah, I guess...
Release it on Xbox, too. I mean, but it's like, you're not going to lose anyone.
It would be pretty funny if they were... Although, you know what? A game like Banjo, if you released it on both, and I was someone who had both systems, I would imagine more people would lean to having the portability, because a game like Banjo isn't going to be like, I need to see it in the 4K Viz,
Yeah.
Although, it probably would look really nice. I could see like that.
It probably would.
That's it. I'm getting the Xbox version.
They would still.
No, I know what you mean.
They would still get the money though. I mean, like,
yeah,
from the Switch version. So
not as much, but
I just mean, but they did it with Minecraft. They literally have done this. Like, there's precedent.
Yeah, I think Minecraft's a little different.
It's a Microsoft game. It is, but I mean, that mixed in with Banjo-Kazooie costumes available to buy on the Switch, and then with cross-platform play with Xbox games. I just think it's I think they're falling down thinking I think they're gonna do whatever makes money and not and I think they're realizing they can go down different avenues now. So I don't know.
Yeah, I could see Microsoft being more like, we want to just have PC gaming anyway. Like, because now with all of the stuff they do where if you buy, I think it's like if you buy Halo, you get like the Xbox version and you get like the PC version, It's like when you buy one, you get it for both platforms anyway. Mm-hmm. With a lot of like, I'm pretty sure with the Microsoft first party games, like if you own it for one, you own it for both. So it's like I could see them getting away from like, we don't really necessarily need something to be just on an Xbox,
Right, exactly.
But moving along back to Nintendo, we've got the top 10 selling Nindies on the Switch thus far in no particular order here.
But real quick, and this is kind of like what qualifies as an indie thing. Is this also third parties too, or just?
It said indies on Switch,
okay.
So I think like what you would assume an indie is,
Okay, yeah.
So we've got SteamWorld Dig 2, Stardew
Mm-hmm.
Valley, Kamiko.
Interesting. That's an interesting one.
You know why? Because that one
it's $5.
It's $5, and it was like out in that sweet spot. Yeah.
Yep.
Celeste, Fast RMX,
Awesome.
Golf Story,
Wonderful.
Enter the Gungeon,
Heck yeah.
Overcooked Special Edition,
Sounds good.
NBA Playgrounds, and Shovel Knight Treasure Trove.
There you go.
Now,
those are some great games.
Yeah, like you said, a couple surprises. I would say NBA Playgrounds is a weird one, but I could also see a lot of people hoping that it'd be, NBA Jam style. So like.
Yep. Oh no. I mean it's the franchise, right? That's the power of it. You know? I can't believe that's one of the top 10 games on Switch.
I know, so weird.
Nindies.
Celeste and Enter the Gungeon, I think, are notable because those both came out very late in comparison to a lot of these other games, you know? Like, Celeste came out in, January, right? And Enter the Gungeon was November or December? I think it was the end of November. So, to crack the top 10, those games must have been selling like hotcakes.
I know, that's awesome. I guess more Switch owners, you know? So.
But yeah, man, Kamiko, good for that game. Yeah. Like you said, I think it's $4.99. It looked like a really great little pixel art game. And good for them. Like, that's amazing.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, the game's not outstanding, but you said it was the sweet spot.
And it also sort of looks like a Zelda game, so like, you know, it's got that going for it.
Absolutely.
But yeah, pretty good little list there, and man, I'm just so happy the Switch is doing well.
Amen, brother. But that'll do it for our news block, and we are just gonna take a quick break, and when we come back,
more news.
More news about our little Nindie spotlight thing we had,
and a weird little thing it was. Alrighty, we are back, and we were treated to a nice little Nindie showcase. I guess this is sort of precedent for GDC week. You know, it seems to be that last year they did the same thing, right? And the year before that they had some sort of, I think it was the last 2 years. I don't know.
I think they've just done it like twice a year.
Maybe.
Right.
Yeah. Well, I know last year was around GDC again.
Yeah, I think it was, and then there was one in between.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah. Okay. But anyway, yeah. So we heard about this last week, and they were like, "Hey, there's going to be a little Nindie showcase on Tuesday at noon," and you know, people started to get very excited, especially after that last Direct was, you know, sort of bonkers, and last year's showcase, I remember, showed off quite a few games that were really sort of pretty popular, and this year a little different. I'd say, I don't want to say it was a bad Direct. I think it was just missing that exclamation point. There's definitely some games in here I'm excited about. I think we're just going to go down. Now, I've got a little summary from Reddit in our show notes, but why don't we go the way the Direct goes, so I'll read it out in the order it came out.
Okay. So
the first game that they showed off was Mark of the Ninja Remastered. Now, do you know anything about this game?
Nope.
All right, so it was released a while ago, 2012, and it's like a stealth action game, but it had a pretty big following. Like, to me, during the Direct, it didn't really look all that crazy great, you know? It looked cool, I guess, but people seemed to be very, very excited about that game, so...
Okay.
I was like, all right, I mean... That is what it is, you know. So that's
what kind of game is it?
It's a stealth action game.
Stealth action.
So okay. I think it's sort of similar to maybe like that top down, 10-ton. I think maybe. I could be also making that up.
The trailer I'm looking at doesn't have any gameplay, so.
Yeah, I was looking for. Let's see. Actually, it looks like. Yeah, so maybe not top-down, it's 2D, but it looks like you're sort of sneaking around areas and you can sort of get through it that way. Was that Snap you?
Nope, that's my YouTube video on my phone.
I was like, boo! But yeah, so next up in line, we had Fantasy Strike. Now, this game right here is another little weird one. You know, sort of looks like your standard 2D fighting game, but I guess they were talking about different elements you can use. You know, like it was like even like weird ones like gambling and like a slot machine sort of popped up, and you're like, okay, like that's sort of strange, you know. But I don't know. Yeah, it looks interesting. Probably not a game I would play, but
no,
you know, it's out there.
Alex will be happy because there's a panda fighter.
Finally, he's making his fighting game debut.
Yep. And that comes out this summer.
Yep. Now, this next game I'm actually sort of excited about. It looks pretty cool. It's called Just Shapes and Beats. And they sort of put it as a musical bullet hell, which...
Oh, cool. This game looks cool.
Yeah.
Kind of Gonnery vibes.
Yeah, with a lot of color. And
yeah.
The one thing I will say, not a very good logo. Not a very good logo.
No,
but
I haven't seen it yet.
The game itself looks like it could be a lot of fun. It's coming out in the summer, and it's going to be coming to Switch first. What's cool is there's a story mode and both local and online play with that one.
Cool.
So
yeah, that looks fun. You're right. Bad logo.
So that game looks really cool. Next up in line here, we had from Tiny Build Games, Garage. Now, the way they put this, inspired by the gloriously gory VHS era of B-movies. Garage is a top-down shooter set in a gritty underworld. So, sort of a top-down shooter. I believe they said...
Spring.
roguelike, right? I believe...
oh, I don't know.
Maybe, don't quote me on that one, but... yeah, it looks pretty cool. Yeah, Spring, and it actually, afterwards, Tiny Build had, like, their own little, I don't want to say direct, but own little presentation, and they gave a date, May 10th, for that one.
Oh, cool.
Next up, we have Pool Panic from the Adult Swim's games. Now,
oh, this game looks so cool.
It looks really weird, so it's like a puzzle, pool game, but, like, the board is always, like, just completely random and different. I don't want to say random.
Yeah, it's like an adventure game.
So, like,
you know, I mean, it's like a
like one of the pool tables is set like you're in a forest. Another one was like you're on a pirate ship with enemies and stuff. So, and it's got like the characters or the characters are the balls, and they have like weird funny faces on and stuff.
Looks awesome.
Looks really quirky and pretty cool.
Definitely cool.
2018, they didn't really...
Yep, just 2018.
Didn't give us a hard date there. Now, this next one looks pretty cool, and that is Bomb Chicken.
Oh, man. And no, it's not from a Tui.
Yeah.
It's not Bomb Monkey and Chicken Wiggle put together.
I know, that was my first thought.
It's a really fun-looking platformer, kind of Kirby like platformer with bombs.
And what's cool is the bombs can be used to attack, but they can also be like when you drop a bomb, it looks like it goes right underneath you, like you're sort of laying an egg to the bomb.
That game looks it looks so good.
Yeah, so
wow,
that's
I'm pumped for that one.
Summer 2018, and it just looks like a really fun arcadey sort of platformer game.
Yeah, absolutely.
Now this next game here has gotten a lot. I've seen a lot of really positive reaction, and I have not played this game yet, but Lumines. I think it's
Lumines.
Lumines remastered, and this
I've never heard it said.
They were an intense puzzle game. I mean, just looking at
it's rhythmic, isn't it? I think isn't that? I've always thought it was like a rhythm game. Yeah, it's a rhythm game. I'm looking at the
rhythm puzzle game. They definitely mentioned puzzle.
Yeah, it looks like Tetris with on like a metronome.
On
like
crack.
It looks cool. Yeah, it looks fun. I've always wanted to get this. This is a game that's like it was on the Vita and like it was physical. So like I've almost got it just to have, like for like $5. But I never got it.
Like you said, I don't know the reaction
and
I saw.
I'm glad I didn't.
Yeah, until it's $1 billion here, but no.
Yeah.
That game looked really fascinating. Frantic puzzle game looks cool.
Yeah.
Now this next game is probably one of the ones that sort of interests me the least, and that is.
And that's hold on, that's coming out the spring.
Yep.
So that's soon, relatively soon.
Hopefully,
Luminous.
hopefully
Spring.
it is technically spring now, right? So.
Yep.
It could be released any day.
Yeah.
Next here we've got Reigns, Kings and Queens, which is a compilation of the two games Reigns and Reigns Her Majesty. Now, this game is I don't know.
I'm looking at the gameplay.
It looks like sort of decision based. I think your actions sort of dictate how things go. Let's see.
Interesting.
As a monarch of the modern age, players face a seemingly never-ending series of requests from peasants, allies, and enemies. By swiping left or right in the game, players impose their will on the kingdom. The Nintendo Switch version of Reigns, Kings and Queens, which launches this spring, features an exclusive local co-op multiplayer game. Or mode, I should say. Yeah, I don't know. Like I said, that one sort of interested me the least of the lot.
Mm-hmm.
Now, this next game... I'd say was probably the most shown off. It sort of did the trailer and then they talked about it a little bit afterwards. And that is Lightfall, which also, this is one of the games that caught my eye. Looks like a crazy platformer. Looks like it could be one of those tough ones.
Yep. Yeah, Meat Boy style.
I know they said...
I just like to say that just for...
Yeah, the tough, brutal gameplay.
It's kind of like, like small character, big screen, crazy gameplay. It looks like you could die a lot. But there's this weird, like, puzzle, like, block. You can form a block.
Yeah, to, like,
and
jump
off
of
it mechanic.
Yeah, I wonder how that'll
cool.
work, where, like, obviously you can't just use that all the time, So I wonder how, how that would work.
Yep. It looks really cool, though, definitely. And what's that one called?
That one's called Lightfall. And
Lightfall.
It's first on Switch this spring, and they also said there's like a speedrun mode and leaderboards and stuff too, so it could...
That's amazing, dude. Switch exclusive. Cool.
Now, this next one is West of Loathing, and this
game looks hilarious.
Yeah, this is like a stick figure RPG set in the Wild West, and I guess it's got a strong emphasis on just being sort of silly and having good writing.
Paper Mario-esque.
And it's cool when they jumped into like a cave, the lighting looks really well done with oh wait, was that? No, I think I was thinking of a different game from the Direct.
Yeah, I don't see that.
It must be a different game. But yeah, no, very simple stick figures, and I don't know, this would be a game. Oh yeah, no, there it is. It's in the cave, yeah. It's got cool lighting with the rocks and the shadows. I would be interested in this game. I wonder how long it'll be. Like, if it's like a 5 to 8 hour RPG, like just a funny little, like, you could get into it, like, that sounds awesome. But if it's like super duper long, it might be something that ends up...
Overstays welcome or something. Yeah.
Now, this next game looks amazing, and it is Podea? P-O-D-E. It is a co-op game. You could play single player, but they sort of encourage, like, 2-player would be the best way to experience it. And I think it's just like a sort of, not meant to be super duper difficult, but more of just an enjoyable scenic
experience
thing. Yeah, with a friend or a partner, whoever. I'm definitely going to show this one to Caitlin, and I hope she wants to play, because this was the one of those games that I was like, wow, like, that is one I want to play.
I like the company that's making it. Henchman and Goon.
That's awesome.
Yeah. Ooh, this next game, though.
Yes, this next game I've actually seen a little bit about, and that is called The Messenger. So, what this game...
Ninja Gaiden.
Yeah, so you're sort of... It's a platformer in an 8-bit sort of, like you said, that old vibe to it. But then the hook is that it actually turns into a 16-bit game with, like, really beautiful graphics and animations.
So cool.
And this game just looks really, really fun.
I am all over The Messenger. That looks amazing.
And this is going to be at PAX East, so we're going to definitely check this out.
Oh, heck yes.
Yeah, they also mentioned in that one, like a speedrunning mode, or, it's funny now that speedrunning is becoming so popular that a lot of these games are capitalizing that, sort of, and that's good, because that's going to keep you playing a game, so.
Yeah.
Now.
Ooh, but this last game here.
Yeah, I was going to say, they finished hard, I feel like, for me, with these 3 games. This last game here, there's one more game we're going to talk about, but the last of the games that really interest me is Bad North. Yeah. Now, this is...
David Lloyd himself.
Yes, yeah, the Bad North.
The Bad North.
A real-time roguelike game where it looks like you're sort of plotted on like a tiny little island, and you have, enemies sort of coming by boat to you, and you need to, take them out before they take you out, and it looks like you have little squadrons. It just looks like a lot of fun.
And it's from my favorite publisher, Raw Fury.
Yep, they've done quite a few games.
They're the bomb diggity. Yeah, it looks so good.
Yeah, this game is definitely going to be a lot of fun, I bet, or at least I have good feelings about it. And that's coming out summer, so a little ways off. Hopefully, more June opposed to like August, but looks very, very cool. Now, they finished this off with one final game, although I guess it's technically really 3 games, and that is the Banner Saga 3 will be coming out this summer, and this is
along with the first.
Yep, a tactical RPG. I guess the story implications as you go through the game, you'll be making decisions because, like you said, 1 and 2 are also going to be coming to the Switch. They did not say when; they just said soon. So I'd imagine before 3 comes out, and I guess they said all of your decisions and characters will transfer, from 1 to 2 to 3. Okay. So I guess you can create your character, I believe I heard. And like I said, I guess decisions you make throughout the game alter what happens moving forward. Some pretty impressive
visuals, 2D drawn visuals.
Yeah, you know what it is? It's so funny because when I hear Banner Saga, I think of Mercenary Saga. Yeah. And then I think, like, oh, that game's sort of boring. know?
No,
Where this game cool. looks not that boring at all, so it's funny.
No.
I don't know if it's a game I would be
stop thinking
still checking it out, But yeah, no, that game looks really nice.
Yeah, totally.
And that was the end of the Direct. It was about 11 minutes, and yeah, like I said, it didn't really have any really home run hitters that would sort of put the exclamation point on it. You didn't have that that critically acclaimed, Nindie that everyone wants to play.
Yeah, like Fortnite or something. I mean, I know,
Fortnite's not a Nindie, dang it.
Well, it seems like a Nindie.
It is not a Nindie at all.
You're a Nindie head.
All right, Perry Burkham.
But yeah, I mean, there wasn't really. I mean, I didn't even watch it. I just watched it as you were talking right now. Because I just heard the updates. Like, well, I don't really know anything about these games, and I've never heard of them.
But I guess that's the point.
It's not bad.
That's sort of the point of this. Get them in the spotlight.
Absolutely.
And like I said, I can, looking at the list, I've got Bad North, The Messenger, Pode, however you say it, Lightfall. Those are all games I'm definitely interested in. Bomb Chicken looks cool. Luminous. Pool. Even the Pool Panic looks interesting, So while none of these games jump off, just shapes and beats, none of these games jump off the page oh my god, but when I stop to think about it, I'm going to probably play a majority of these games, or I hope to.
Right. Absolutely. And the funny thing is I feel like they announced 3 games afterwards that is way more
hype.
Yeah.
Yeah,
absolutely.
I was surprised. Why don't you read them off for us?
Yeah, we have Nidhogg 2, Crashlands, and Hyperlight Drifter.
Now,
which I've heard so much about.
Oh my god. So I've heard an unbelievable amount of this, and it's funny, I was watching the reaction to the Direct, through Reddit and stuff, and a lot of people I can't believe they didn't announce Hyperlight Drifter, or this or that, why? And then all of a sudden they, not too long after, hey, Hyperlight Drifter's coming, and everyone was everyone rejoiced, it's why wasn't that in the Direct?
Yeah, crazy. I mean, it's probably just some reason they couldn't get it in there because of someone.
Honestly, maybe their plan was you know what? By us just saying, hey, Hyperlight Drifter's coming out, everyone knows what that is and they're going to be excited. But if you said, hey, Bad North is coming out, no one would be you know what I mean? It benefited from showing us some of that gameplay where maybe it just wasn't beneficial enough, But then, like I said,
Absolutely.
I guess, like, well, it was 11 minutes. Why don't you just make it 12 minutes and put a 2-minute little thing on there, But
Right.
whatever, I mean, I don't know.
Yeah.
But apparently, the creator of this Hyperlight Drifter said it's a combination of Link to the Past and Diablo, which, when I read that, I was like, started salivating, I was like, oh, baby.
Yeah,
those are like two of my favorite games of all time.
Yeah.
So that will definitely be a game. I don't think they really said any release date on that. I think they just said at some point. Hold on, let me see. Yeah, okay, they said this summer. Okay, so Hyper Light Drifter this summer.
Oh, there's gonna be a summer flood. There's never a summer flood. Or no. There's always a summer flood. Which one is it?
There's
There's
always a flood, Perry.
I think now we're in, Well, no, it was like the summer drought, right? Because it's the fall where all the big games come out.
Yeah. Usually you'd get like one or two sort of tentpole games coming out.
Yeah.
But I think we're officially in the times that it doesn't really matter what time of the year anymore. Because you're seeing games where, like, January used to be like, oh, well, everyone's playing their Christmas or holiday games, and, not many people are trying to save money in January, and now all of a sudden you're seeing these games come out in January, February, that are big games.
And they're all and they're just...
March...
People are getting better at making games.
Everyone, there's just a quality that you're just getting all these smaller games that are just awesome to play, and the best thing is they're $15. You can pick them up and you don't feel guilty. If I bought 2 games this last week, but it was only $30. Or if you get on sale, or $10. Whatever it is. It's a good time to be alive. I tell you what.
It sure is, buddy. And I'm excited for all these things. I can't wait till they come out. And nothing like, and it's released today. All these are pretty far in the future. So.
Yeah, I was hoping we might get something like a smaller, or just like hey, this is out this week or today or something. But yeah, I guess it's a little strange we didn't get any really hard release dates aside from just summer, winter, or spring, whatever. Yeah. But you know what? I guess it makes sense the way with these indies, because it seems like they never know until it's like, hey, you could put it out, and then they're like, well, I guess we'll just put it out this week.
Yeah.
So. Games, baby. I'm excited.
Woo-wee. But, speaking of games, we are going to shift to our last topic here. Our last segment, I should say. Because we have some listener mail. Listener mail. Yeah. Now, so I played about... I had to have been like 6 hours of Splatoon with Estuardo. This last weekend. Well, no, because he played with us on Friday too. I think I played Friday, Saturday, Sunday with him. Because I just played Splatoon we played like 8 hours of Splatoon with good old Dan on Sunday.
You're a madman. You're an absolute madman.
I don't know, man. I was sitting down there, and Jill had to go to work, and so it was just me and Eleanor and the dog, and I had the heater on down in the cold basement, and I
was sitting there with my 100-foot projector.
100-foot. I measured it finally. Are you ready? It's 134 inches. I finally measured it. Now, here's the thing. If people know, I don't know if you've ever tried to play like a first-person shooter or just any shooter, close to a screen, and it's like you can't follow it. And it's really hard to play. You know what I'm talking about? Have you ever played in a big screen and it's just too big, where it's I can't follow and it's too hard to play?
No, I can't say I've ever run into that situation, Perry.
Really? Because I remember playing GoldenEye, the Wii one, really close to just a 32-inch TV, and it's I can't play it this close. I have to sit back.
I guess the only time I could ever maybe think of something like that was growing up. My one friend had a big screen TV, but it was one of those, back in the day where it was just a huge box and the screen was just a piece of plastic. You know what I mean? Those huge TVs, big pieces of crap. Now that you really look back at it, but At the time, it was just like, oh my god, it's a bajillion inches wide.
Yeah. Yep. Well, so I figured out something. I already knew about it, but I didn't even think about doing it. Is like making the screen smaller on the Switch, like system wide, because you can do that when you hook it up to a TV. You know, because like when I hook it up to my TV in my living room, it's fine. But then when I put it on the TV in my office, I have to bring it down to 97% to make it fit the borders. And then when I bring it down to my projector, I have to bring it down to 95% to make it fit the borders. It's just, there's different settings. Well, I brought it down. I fixed the problem playing Splatoon because it was just too big. I made it down to 80%, and it's because that's the lowest you can go. And it's perfect. It's perfect. And so I was just in the zone, man. I was just sitting there, and we were playing, and it was so much fun with Dan. And Estuardo, who sent us this listener mail that Casey's going to read right now.
Hey guys, first of all, love the show and I look forward every week for the new episode. For my question, Nintendo reported that for 2018 they want to sell 20 million Switch units worldwide. Do you think that with Smash coming out this year will be enough to reach their goal, or would they need the help of Pokemon to come out this same year? I think that Pokemon, with all that it represents alone, can move that kind of units, but I would love to hear your guys' thoughts on this. By the way, I've never played a Pokemon game in my life, except for Pokemon Go. Thanks again. Keep it up. Team Pepsi, Estuardo.
You liar. He said hashtag Team
Yeah,
Coke.
he did. You know what?
He's my boy.
It's funny. I thought we were friends, but, I guess it is what it is.
Well, I mean, have you ever had like Mexican Coke? I mean, you know what I'm talking about? Like in the glass bottles, and they have like the sugar cane.
Yeah.
I mean, they sell that at this, like, you can find it someplace. So, he has the good stuff down in Mexico.
Yeah.
So, I mean, they probably don't even sell Pepsi.
I think,
they probably don't
they
even
sell Pepsi in those nice glass bottles, too.
No, they don't.
But, I don't believe it. But, yeah, as far as 20 million units this year, I mean, that's...
Easy.
Whew, that's a lot of units for sure. But, like you said, what was it, 14 the first year?
Yeah, I mean...
Now you gotta think...
Smash is coming out.
So
right?
I guess really his question is, do you think Smash is enough to push 20 million alone?
I think absolutely. I mean, because like you said, I think we're already probably approaching 15, 16.
Well, I think
right?
they want to sell an additional 20 million.
Oh, okay. Well, I don't know. I mean, they had Breath of the Wild and they had Mario, which were big heavy hitters, but seriously,
but now you got to
Smash.
think it's also compounding that library, So now it's that person that buys the Switch now for Smash goes, oh crap, now I can finally play Zelda, and now I can play Mario, and they can, and then plus all the Nindies coming, and I think, man, 20 million is a lot for sure.
It is a lot. But to put things in perspective, I mean, Smash and Pokemon are the biggest franchises I have. I mean,
if we get Smash this year, and we get Pokemon as well, I think there's absolutely no doubt in my mind at all that they might push 25, 30.
The only doubt in my mind would be that they wouldn't make enough units to sell.
Yeah, well...
That's the only thing I can see happening.
Well, yeah, if they're reporting that they want to sell 20 million, like, you hope to God they make at least 20 million, if that's their projected sales, But,
right.
No, I think if both come out, absolutely. Like I said, like you said, it'd probably run into an issue of, we could have sold 30 or 40, but we just didn't have them, Pokemon, like you said, is going, especially if it comes out beautiful 3D graphics. Imagine, I hope that, or they, like, even, I was thinking, a remake would be great, right? But even if they just...
reboot.
Yeah, did like a reimagining, where it's like, you're going to all the same places, but now there's so much more to do. There's this, that, there's more Pokemon, new Pokemon, this, that.
That makes me excited.
Like, that's what I think they should do, where...
And there could be new Pokemon in there.
Like,
I mean...
well, that's what
everything.
I'm thinking, yeah, if they do, like, say they do Yellow, right? I know Eurogamer, I believe, was teasing something about a Pokemon Yellow. I don't know, but I think if they just like take Yellow, but then just ran with it, Like I said, they also new Pokemon, new events to do. Like sure, every town still has it's gym leader, but now there's other things there as well, and like that would be easy. But now let's say Pokemon doesn't come this year. Do you think they still get to 20 million with Smash? Say Smash is the only. See, there's just no way that Smash is going to be the only game Nintendo releases. You know, so it's like honestly, I'm still holding out for Animal Crossing. I still think that could definitely be a thing.
I definitely.
And then like if you factor in like Smash, Animal Crossing, and a strong, I think they could still hit 20.
I'm gonna go out and say that I think that Smash is a big enough to do 20 on its own. Honestly, I do. I know people, and the only reason, that Smash did incredible on Wii U, and it did incredible on Wii U, on the system that no one even knew what it was.
Yeah.
You know, I just think that in the time we're living, Smash is bigger than ever, and it's an institution, and it's on the system that is
lighting the world on fire right now. Yeah.
And so it's like, I really do think that it's this combination of especially with a brand new one, and with like the combination of characters they'll have, it's going to be the most hyped game ever.
Oh, for sure, dude.
So it's just like, I'm not saying that translates to sales exactly, but I think that people are becoming, both PS4, Xbox, PC gamers and Nintendo gamers, and they're going to be all over this one. So I just think that it would, and I think that they wouldn't need Pokemon for this year. But if they did, it'd be the world would explode.
Like if they bring Pokemon and Smash, they better make 30 million at least.
Yeah.
But no, I can definitely see Smash and then whatever complementary games come out alongside it this year still hitting that 20 mark. Like I said, I think at this point, I feel like the second year or holiday is usually a big number pusher, because now all of a sudden you have 2 years of software, and generally speaking, that first year is usually sort of dry, not necessarily dry, but you have a couple games, but it sort of ramps up, in that second and third year. So all of a sudden, Switch had a monster first year. So if we keep ramping up,
I know, man, it's insane.
Ooh-wee, what a time to be alive!
But as for never playing a Pokemon game, what do you say, Case?
It's a little weird, I guess. I feel like most people at some point. I would say that I think you should definitely try it out when it comes out in the Switch, and it sounds like he is probably going to. But, they're good games. I like them. Of course, I'm very fond of the original ones, and, I played Moon. I really liked a lot, too. They're like comfort games to me, because they're more or less the same, and you can just get in there and have some fun.
They're great RPGs. They really are. They're fantastic JRPGs.
Yep. But, yeah. Thank you so much for the email. We always appreciate it. And
seriously, Estuardo, you're the man. And anyone can email us at talknintendopodcast@nintendoworldreport.com.
Or you can tweet at us at talknintendopod. That's
talknintendopod.
Yep. And I guess just a few little house cleaning things before we go. We're going to be at PAX East in just a couple of weeks. We're going to be on the show floor going around doing interviews and stuff. But if you're in the area and you want to say what's up and play some games or something in our downtime, we're going to probably be doing that, as well as Nintendo World Report has 2 panels. So the first panel is Friday at 7:30, Who Wants to Be a Nintendo Heir? Of course, that's like the Who Wants to Be a Millionaire game. Going to be giving away gifts and prizes and stuff.
Tons of prizes.
That's 7:30 to 8:30 in the Condor Theater. And then on Sunday at noon, the Nintendo Switch's surprise first birthday party, which I will actually be a panelist on, which is pretty
don't
crazy.
Go to that one.
Yeah. Don't want to go to that one if you don't want to watch Jimmy. But yes, that's also going to be in the Condor Theater as well. So going to be fun stuff, and we'll have plenty of videos and interviews and stuff from PAX going up. But we'll talk about that
when we
have them ready to ship out to you guys. So, but on that note, I think I think I've rambled on enough. I don't know about you.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know, Perry. I was just... Trust me.
But Casey, it's always fun talking with you on the Talk Nintendo podcast, and I look forward to episode 79.
Yep, the seminal episode in the first 100 is the 79th, if you didn't know that.
Obviously.
Yep. But until next time, we'll see you then.
Party on, Wayne.
Party on, Garth. Yeah, this is the little strange RPG stick figure RPG. West... Jeez, butchered that one. Gym Smashers? Well, it can't go any lower than easy, I think. And I was sitting there with my 100-foot projector,